The angel wings and the halo. The girls are going to need this for the Christmas play. Oh, they must have left it behind. I'll take it to them. Yeah, I'll take it.
Let's get ready, Myrna, for the play.
I can't wait. This Christmas play is going to be so nice.
Okay, what are you dressing up as again?
One of the three kings.
Ooh, nice. I'm going to be an angel.
Okay.
All right, let's put our costumes on. I love dressing up.
Me too. And I love the Christmas play we done last year. I can't wait for this one.
Oh.
Okay, how does it look?
You look good.
Do I look like a king?
You sure do. You just need a crown.
Sure. Where is that?
Here it is.
So shiny.
Myrna, have you seen my halo and wings?
Yeah, wasn't it in here?
I'm pretty sure we put it in this box, no?
Yeah, we did. Hang on. Is it under there?
No, they're not in here. Oh no. How are we going to get them? We need them. How are people going to know I'm an angel?
That's true. They have to be somewhere, Anya.
You know what? I think we should just pray about it and hopefully God will always do something. He'll help us for sure.
That's true.
So please, God, please help us get these wings and halo. We really, really need them just so this play can be good.
Okay, where can they be? Anya?
Did we leave them?
I think we left them somewhere. We have to.
Girls, girls.
Time to go.
I've been looking for you ever. You forgot your wings and halo.
Thank God. Amy, we don't know what we were going to do.
Why?
We just said a quick prayer and thank God, look how God just answered our prayers so quickly.
Well, of course. Jesus is wonderful. Of course you can expect good things from him.
Senior Tones.
أوين واسميان إثقاتاش ما اختيتي ملكوثاخ إهوي صوياناخ إكناد وشمية وبرها هولا لخما سنقان يومانا وشوق لن خوبين إكناد بخنان شواق خياوي لا تعلى النسيان إلا بصل من بيشا مطل دينا خيم الكوثاخ خينا ودشبخت العالم قال منامي.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Asika TV. This is season 4 with episode 8. Today we're going to learn that Jesus is wonderful, so we can expect good things from him all the time. Let's talk about something good you're expecting to do today.
Well, I'm going to go home and cook some dinner for my family.
That's nice. I was thinking of doing my Christmas shopping. I'm going to go and buy some gifts for my friends and family too.
That sounds really good as well. Very nice. We expect good things when we know that they're coming. And we know that Jesus will do good things in our lives because Jesus is wonderful. The Bible is one place we can see just how wonderful Jesus is. The Bible is full of incredible stories. Let's hear one of them now. Today, we're going to see that Jesus is wonderful, and we'll find out what wonderful things he did for a deaf man in the Bible. But before we read today's story, let's try to imagine what it would be like to be deaf. Why don't we try having a conversation, but without actually talking out loud, only mouthing the words?
That sounds tricky.
Yeah, that's going to be hard.
Okay, let's give it a go.
I eat jam with my pizza?
Ew.
What's she saying?
Is that right?
No, I like ham on my pizza.
Oh, that makes sense. Jam with your pizza.
How did you find having a conversation without talking out loud?
Well, it was pretty hard. I'm not very good at lip reading, as you can tell.
It was challenging.
It was pretty funny to see what you thought Myrna was saying. Though if you were deaf, what would you miss the most about being able to hear?
I would miss talking to my friends and hearing the stories or them telling me about their day. I would miss that the most.
I would miss listening to my favorite songs, watching movies.
Yes, I would miss that too. And in today's story, the Bible doesn't tell us if the man was born deaf or went deaf later in life. If he lost his hearing later, it's possible he missed the same things and kinds of sounds and things that we just mentioned. What we do know is that he had a lot of people looking out for him. Let's see what happened when he met Jesus. We're going to read from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 7, verses 31 to 32. Girls, could one of you read?
Sure.
Okay. I think I've placed a marker here for you.
Matthew 7, 31 to 32.
Yes.
Okay. Again, departing from the region of Tyre and Sidon, he came through the midst of the region of Decapolis to the Sea of Galilee. Then they brought to him one who was deaf and had an impediment in his speech, and they begged him to put his hand on him. It seems like the deaf man's friends were expecting something good to happen when Jesus came. They must have known that Jesus is wonderful.
They sure were. They wanted Jesus to heal their friend. In fact, they even begged him to do it. Now, the next part of the story might seem a little strange, but it's important for us to remember that Jesus heals in different ways. Sometimes he just says a word, or he'll touch the person. This time he did something very different. Myrna, could you read it for us?
Sure.
Verses 33 to 34.
Yes.
And he took him aside from the multitude and put his fingers in his ears. And he spat and touched his tongue. Then looking up to heaven, he sighed and said to him, Ephphatha, that is, be opened.
So Jesus spat on his fingers and then put in his ears.
Yep.
Well, I've never heard of Jesus doing something like that. You are right, that is very different.
I don't know how I'd feel about someone putting their fingers in my ears. I don't think I'd like it very much.
Well, how would you feel about it if you were deaf and Jesus wanted to heal you? Would you let him do it?
Yeah, of course. I'd probably do anything to hear again if I was deaf.
Yeah, I'd let him do it too. We don't know why Jesus chose to heal the man this way. Some say Jesus was using a kind of sign language to communicate to the man in a way he could understand. Let's learn some sign language now. Why don't we learn how to say, Jesus is wonderful?
The Jesus in sign language is said or shown by placing our middle fingers into the middle of our hands.
Ah.
Yeah. So this is Jesus. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And in sign language, they don't have a word for is. It's usually implied by the kind of sentence they're saying. But we do have a word for wonderful. To show that something is wonderful or to say wonderful, you push out with your hands first at the top of your chest, then again a little bit lower.
Oh, wonderful.
So Jesus is wonderful.
Wow.
Nice.
Very nice. Good job with the sign language. We hope you followed along too at home. Let's see what happened in our story. This time we'll continue reading from Mark chapter 7 verses 35 to 37.
Immediately his ears were opened, and the impediment of his tongue was loosed, and he spoke plainly. Then he commanded them that they should tell no one, but the more he commanded them, the more widely they proclaimed it. And they were astonished beyond measure, saying, He has done all things well. He makes both the deaf to hear and the mute to speak.
Wow, the man was able to hear and speak. Jesus is wonderful.
He really is. Jesus is wonderful, and so we can expect good things from him because he loves us the most.
Welcome to our object lesson. Today we're going to be making some music.
Mona, how are we going to do that? I don't see any instruments around.
You're not going to sing, are you?
No, I won't be singing. We're going to use just ordinary spoons and string.
So we're not eating anything.
No,
Boring.
we're using string to make music and spoons. Okay, so what we do is we just connect a piece of string to the spoon, okay? And then you grab it, you put it next to your ear, the end of the string next to your ear, not inside.
Okay.
And then you let the spoon hit the table. And I want you to have a go. And tell me what you girls hear.
Music? You look
Okay.
insane.
Try it.
Let's try it. Maybe we'll hear some beautiful music. Okay,
So you just hold it up to your ear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me what you hear once you do
up
it.
to my ear. Oh my goodness!
No way!
It sounds like church bells.
Yeah, that's right.
That's so cool!
You guys can try it at home too.
I want to try the little spoon. Maybe that will be a different noise.
It will be.
I love that
try this
sound.
Oh!
So these spoons that are ordinary sounded extraordinary. This experiment didn't seem like it would be very amazing at first.
No,
It kind of looks silly, to be honest.
very simple.
In fact, it might have seemed a little odd at first. Yeah.
Definitely.
In our Bible story, Jesus put his fingers in the man's ears and touched his tongue. That might not have seemed amazing, but something wonderful happened. The man could hear and talk. Jesus is wonderful. What's something that seems ordinary but reminds you that Jesus is wonderful?
Well, flowers seem pretty ordinary, right? But when I see them with all their different colors and shapes, it reminds me just how wonderful and creative Jesus is.
Yes, I love flowers too, actually, and that's a good point. My family and friends always remind me of how wonderful Jesus is. I mean, sometimes we can take them for granted, but when I think of all the wonderful things they do for me, it reminds me of how great Jesus is for putting them in my life.
That's very wonderful examples, girls. Jesus is wonderful, and he fills our lives with wonder through ordinary things all around us.
It's time for our craft lesson. Today we're going to be making a bulletin board. Since we've been exploring just how wonderful Jesus is, we're going to make a bulletin board so when we see something ordinary that reminds us of how wonderful Jesus is, we can write it down and place it on our board.
That is such a good idea. That's a wonderful idea, Rania.
Yeah.
So then we can always remember just how wonderful Jesus is.
That's right, Amy.
Are we going to need some supplies first?
Yes, I was just getting to that. So, we're going to need a piece of cardboard. You can use old food packaging or just any cardboard you have at home. And we'll need some sticky tape, scissors. Now remember to have your parents with you when using scissors. We're going to need some ribbon. We chose this nice purple spotty one.
I like that.
And then just some small pieces of paper and some markers to write down what wonderful things we've seen.
Okay.
Alright, so to start, we need to cut our ribbon so it can go across the board. But in
Okay.
a few different sizes. So it's going to go across like this and then across again over the middle.
Okay.
Yeah?
Need some tape?
Yes.
So we can take it on. Oh, can you cut it to start? Perfect. Should we take this on first or cut the That's pretty. I think 3 pieces each way is enough. Okay. Lots of teamwork. Toss the ends again. And one more this way? Yeah, I think that will look really nice.
And then we have to do them the other way too.
Oh.
We're not finished yet.
So where do you put bulletin boards, Rania?
You can put them up in your room or maybe somewhere like the kitchen where everyone will see it.
That's a good place. Maybe on the fridge.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea too. Thank you, Nona.
I wonder where I'd put mine. I know, on the back of my door in my room.
Oh,
So I would always see it
That's a good idea.
before I go to sleep. It would be a good reminder.
Yeah. What about you, Myrna? Where are you going to put your one?
I'd put it on my bench in my room.
Okay, so now we're going to go the other way. Right. Okay.
Great idea.
Sorry, Amy.
That's okay. Watch your fingers. Cool. Yep.
Okay. 2 more.
Oh yeah, that's pretty tight.
Coming together.
So
Oh,
nice.
it's a pretty pattern.
Even maybe you can put photos of things that you...
Oh, that's such a good idea.
That's a good one, Myrna. Or drawings.
Yeah, or drawings that you have.
Excellent. Last one. Okay. Cut this in. Oh, our ribbon's finished. Let's just use the rest
Okay.
of it. Cool.
I'll
Okay.
cut the tape.
Yes, please. Alright, stick them on.
Lucky last. Cool.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, that looks so good.
So now that our bulletin board is done, can we think of some ordinary things that remind us how wonderful Jesus is? Maybe we can write
Can we write them down?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
I'm going to write flowers.
That's a beautiful one.
I'm gonna
I
write-
wrote. Oh,
You go ahead.
I wrote friends.
Oh, that's a good one. I might draw a flower actually.
I wrote nature. Mountain,
Nice.
sea,
Beautiful.
sun. I'm gonna write
That's a nice one.
life.
I'm going to write family as well.
That's a good one, Amy. Okay,
Wow.
our board is looking pretty good.
It is pretty.
Jesus is wonderful, but sometimes we're not paying attention, and so we don't notice all the wonderful things that Jesus fills our lives with. Now that we have our bulletin boards, when we see something wonderful or something reminds us of Jesus, we can write it down and put it on our boards.
We've come to the end of our lesson, and here are 3 things we've learnt.
I learned that Jesus is wonderful and he fills our lives with wonder through the ordinary things all around us.
And I learned that even though we don't always understand what Jesus is doing, like when he put his fingers in the deaf man's ears, we can trust that he is wonderful and we can expect good things from him.
And I learned that it's really important to remind ourselves of the wonderful things that Jesus is always doing for us, just like the bulletin board. We hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and we hope you can trust to expect good things from Jesus. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Cut!
In fact, they even begged him, like you said. And now the next part of the day. I know.
It's alright, I'll repeat. Done. I'm reading the same line that I shouldn't be reading.